With Nick Castellanos. First question for Nick. Start here in the third row on the right.
Nick, how proud does it make you to see the shirts that Liam made and kind of the cause that he's supporting?
Very proud, for sure. Anytime that you're able to give back, and it just means a lot. Also that he's steering it.
A few more for Nick. JP, back right.
Nick, what impresses you the most about the way that Aaron Nola approaches a start and just the vast array of pitches that he can utilize?
I'd say how settled in he gets, how the bigger the moment, the more relaxed and in the zone he is. And that's something that can't really be taught. And I think everything, all his other pitches locking in is a byproduct of that.
John,
when Bryce was in here, he mentioned you guys were very close from the Youth Olympics, I believe. From your perspective, how involved was he in the recommendation to you and or about you and the recruitment of you before you became a Philly?
Okay. That's a good question. Very, honestly. I did not think that I was coming here during my free agent process at all. It wasn't, the cities that I was interested in at the time, or also really wasn't on the radar. And then, Bryce reached out to me and said that he was, what do you think? I want this, I want you to be here. Simultaneously, Scott also then started reaching out and saying that, I think it's going to be here. And then all of a sudden, at midnight, I'm like, all right, take the deal, Philadelphia. So sure, I think that if it wasn't for him, and like initiating, saying like, hey, I want you over here, let's make this happen. Who knows? If it was the other way around, like if Scott was the first one to say that, maybe I would have been still more locked in on the other cities that I had my attention on at the time.
Jesse, on the left side.
Nick, another question involving Liam. Includes last night, everything you experienced last night, and all these experiences you're having with him. Could you have even envisioned it, when you're going back years before your dad, the things you want to accomplish in baseball, and then all of a sudden you have a son to sort of experience it with you? What's that like?
It's beautiful, honestly. It's an unselfish way to find gratitude about me going about my selfish pursuing career of being the best baseball player and winning and doing all that stuff. So to be able to just have him next to me and be able to ride this ride, and to see him take in all of these experiences, I think is great. I think it also can mature him in some ways too, because if experiences anytime anybody experiences something for the first time, it's overwhelming, and a lot of times you don't know what's happening. Adults can experience the same thing a 10-year-old can, but just because you're 40 doesn't mean that that 10-year-old his experience is any different. So I just think that he has a wonderful opportunity, and it's important for me, for him to be able to experience all of these things.
Second row on the left side.
Hey, Nick. To take sort of jump off of that question, but for you, you got a chance early on in your career to be able to play in the playoffs at age 22.
Sure.
And I know there's a number of players on both teams now, whether it's Gallen or Alec or Corbin, who are doing that now. In what ways did it make you a better player, and in what kind of advice would you give them for what they should take out of that experience as well?
Well, first off, the first answer to that is the one that's the hardest to do, and that's enjoy it no matter what. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And then just relax and be able to simplify the game as best as possible on only focusing on the baseball. I don't have to give press conferences like this before a regular season game. So this is just one of the things that can distract you from what's important, and that's just paying attention to the baseball, honestly.
Did it help you to better pay attention to the baseball following it?
Of course, you know, but the game is hard for everybody. And I think that's another reminder, too, to just let, Miggy said this great, was we're going to need you. It could be you up with 2 outs in Game 7 of the World Series, or it could be me. Your at-bat is just as important. So we need you to be as relaxed in yourself as you can be in that moment. Yeah.
On the left side in the back.
During the regular season this year, and maybe more so last year, how much did you think about, and how much did you guys talk about the concept of just get in? Just get into the playoffs and then see what happens in October.
This year you're talking about?
This year or last year. I know, obviously, 2 different terms to the year.
Well, last year we all wanted to get in because I think it's been a while since this franchise has been in the postseason. This year we're like we're gonna get in. We don't care what it looks like. We don't need to win the division. We just need to get in because we know that once we're in, we thrive in October.
JP.
Nick, I'm curious, how has your philosophy on analyzing video in the midst of a postseason evolved over time? Video versus the feel and that sort of perspective on hitting.
That's a good question. I think that as I'm getting older, I look at video more for the purpose of what other people are doing rather than just analyzing what I'm doing.
Any last ones for Nick? All right, Nick, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem.